Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. In this game, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. GA, it's all yours.
For most teams in the NBA, success starts at the top. The challenge for owners, most of whom don't come from basketball backgrounds, is picking the right person to entrust with roster decisions. That skill set is hard to evaluate sometimes, but getting that first decision right can sometimes make all the difference. Kevin?
It sure can. All right, DA, thanks. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Pistons. On Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors.
And looking at that Nets matchup, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Allen Iverson out there with Simmons. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then it's Barkley. And it's Iguodala in at the small forward position. And for Detroit, they've got Thomas. Wallace is out there with Hill. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Dumas in at the shooting guard position. So Philadelphia will get the first possession. Now Embiid. Here's Iverson. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Detroit. Clark up front. That's where the game will likely be won or lost in this one.
Great talent, no doubt, on the front lines here. But if for some reason they cancel each other out, then you know where it's going to be decided, in the backcourt, with guys about your size, Kevin.
Now, wait a minute.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
You know, after the Sixers were knocked out in the second round for the second straight year, there was some speculation, and I think unmerited, whether Brett Brown might be let go as head coach. The players voiced their support and made the decision easier to bring him back, and I think it was the right one. He's done a fantastic job as the leader of the Sixers.
And both free throws good for Iverson. And Coach Brown, Clark, captained the ship through some real rough times in the beginning.
And, you know, Kevin, I think for that reason and the job he's done here recently, he's earned the right to see this thing through. It's a result-oriented profession. I know that, and I understand it. But this is a team built to contend, and that's the expectation. And I'd like to see Brett Brown have a chance to bring it to full fruition.
What a fantastic finish there on the break.
A textbook kickback to set up the easy finish.
Outside, Simmons. Over Thomas. Shots good by Simmons.
With Ben Simmons, his wheelhouse is in close. The closer he is, the more dangerous he is.
Dumas against Iverson. Thomas gets a wide open look. From outside, off the mark.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
It's tipped, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
Barkley against Wallace, and they call an illegal screen here.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Outside Thomas, and there's the pass to Dumas. Lets it go. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
Boy, he's so crafty, Isaiah Thomas, and really unselfish. A pass-first point guard who knows exactly when one of his guys is open and how to get it to him.
Now here's Simmons trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Boston. Down Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Joe Dumars.
When he's got ideal position inside, I mean, Embiid goes right into the contact. He hunts it out.
And you look at Joel Embiid, Clark, for a player standing 7'2", probably close to 300 pounds. You've got to be impressed with how well he moves out there.
And, Kevin, that's the first and most eye-catching thing about him when I watch him, is how nimble he is for his size. And you notice it at the offensive end because he's got great skills and footwork, but defensively, he doesn't pick up a lot of cheap fouls despite having the primary role of rim protector for his team. You know, guys, it's crazy to think that Joel Embiid once considered quitting the game. I mean, his first practice at Kansas, a senior dunked on him so hard he went to the coach and said, maybe I should get out of this stuff. Luckily, the coach talked him down, and now we see one of the best in the league.
And he sinks the second. And some real adversity for Joel Embiid after leaving Kansas. Foot injuries costing him the first 2 years, Clark, of his career. And then, back in Cameroon, the tragic passing of his beloved brother.
Yeah, that's a hard road to hoe, and adversity oftentimes, while painful, can steel us for the promised land or positive outcomes. And, you know, Embiid really driven by his goal to inspire others in Africa to make a better life, and that drove him to be where he is now.
And Embiid with the block. Pass to Billups. The 3. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got 3 assists now in this one.
And Billups, a remarkable shooter in his own right, especially from distance now. Has a really fluid shooting motion. Big shot. Chance.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago.
Now here's Thomas. He played real well against Atlanta in that last game. Passes it to Billups. The feed to Drummond. He dishes it to Wallace. A second chance effort. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
That's his first personal foul.
A big X factor for the Sixers, I think, will be the development of Ben Simmons' jump shot. He's got to become at least a threat as a perimeter shooter if they're going to have a chance to win it all. Two shots. Relax on the first.
First one falls for him. And especially in the playoffs where teams really scheme for you, Simmons shooting can be a real problem for the Sixers.
Yeah, it's a major liability, guys. There's no denying it. For all of his wonderful ability and versatility, the fact that it's basically 4 on 5 when they're on offense with him on the floor is a problem in the playoffs. And you said it. When teams can lock into you, they're going to make you do what you're uncomfortable doing.
And early in the season, Clark, rotations getting settled. How important do you think it is to have players who really embrace their roles on that team?
You know, I think it's a combination of accepting and embracing your roles, really relishing what it is you're to do and to star in what your particular role is, and finding that out oftentimes is a work in progress even throughout the season.
And probably managing maybe some disappointment if you aren't in the role you thought you were going to be in.
Well said. Exactly right.
Here's Billups. 76ers getting the bucket. Drills the three-pointer.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
They get it back. Iverson. Billups with the block, and he recovers it.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Yeah, with great recognition, awareness, and body control, Simmons can get up for blocks.
Now here's Simmons. Isaiah Thomas missing his last shot. Kicks it out to Iguodala. There's the triple. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. Detroit leading by 6. Hill left side. Iguodala with the steal. Iverson against Thomas. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, Simmons has what I call see-ahead vision. I mean, he sees a play ahead, and he's a great passer.
Thomas with the ball. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Hill trying to break free. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Embiid's got 4 rebounds now tonight. To the paint. No good. Nice defense from Wallace. Pass to Drummond. Iguodala with the steal. Iverson outside. The pass to Simmons. Back to Iverson. From outside the arc. Rebound by Grant Hill.
Boy, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. I'll tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Andre Iguodala.
Wallace.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And he knocks down the first one. Tobias Harris is checked in for Philadelphia. He's off on the second. The 76ers trail by 5. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Simmons finds Harris. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
Harris has really become much more adept at finishing hard shots. Great focus there.
Outside Thomas. Pass to Billups. This one for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Billups has got 12.
And off to an incredible start here early from long range.
Lighting it up from outside. Hard to keep up with this.
Passes to Iverson. Embiid trying to break loose. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. And the Pistons making a change here. Wallace is checked in. Then for the 76ers, Tumbo is checked in for Joel Embiid. ABC comes in for Allen Iverson. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Barkley. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
Yeah, and very tough to beat when they're playing up to their capabilities. That's why they're one of the top teams in the league.
Richard Hamilton's checked in for Thomas. Here are the top distributors from last season. These guys always seem to find the open man. 4th, Ben Simmons.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Here's Miller. Rebound, Detroit. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
Well, it's easy to score when you're facing very little resistance. Pistons. That's why their offense looks so good in that one.
Well, I think it was a combination of things, quite honestly, but the defense didn't really offer them a challenge all night. I agree with that.
The Pistons shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
In the season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
First free throw is good. Clark, we're seeing a lot of shooters drawing contact. They have that art form down. They know exactly what to do and how to position their bodies, don't they?
Yeah, they really do, Kevin. And I don't know if anybody's any better than James Harden, in part because he's so skilled with the ball, but he's a really thick, strong, agile guard, which makes him hard to defend without fouling him. And he's really developed that ability to seek contact in a legal manner, and I don't think anybody does it any better than him.
Now here is Miller. Holiday, the pass to Harris. Over Wallace. No good off the back of the rim.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Fast break, Philadelphia. Here's Harris, and it's sent back by Wallace. Hamilton outside. Outside Hill. Pass to Wallace. And good that time. Wallace has got 9.
Excellent all-around performance so far against the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Now here is Holiday. And here is Simmons. 6 on the shot clock. And just miss after miss right now. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Shot from 16. No good from Hamilton. The 76ers trail by 10. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Phillips to the inside. Wallace misses.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Here's a look at some stats for Tobias Harris. He's coming off an excellent season. Around 20 points per game last season. 8 rebounds and 2 assists. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, you know, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
Now here's Mutombo. No points in the game yet for him. That one goes in.
Can't allow Mutombo to get this deep. I mean, once you do, he's going to score it with ease.
And the pass to Hamilton. That one, no good. And Philadelphia the other way now. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
That was a difficult one for them to drop. A close game throughout, and an opponent that they're going to beat more often than not.
Well, it was self-inflicted, plain and simple. I mean, they just didn't play up to their ability, and it's costly.
Nothing better than a hustle play like that. It gets the whole team amped up, sets the example for everyone.
Outside Holiday. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Yeah, and checking out some stats here for Ben Simmons. Coming off a terrific season. 4th in assists, 15th in field goal percentage. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And as you said, dishing out dimes at a top 5 pace. He was in total command of the offense last season. Look for more good things to come. Now, here is Hill. And he also played a big role in their last game with Atlanta. Phillips, no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Pass to Simmons. Miller kicks to Simmons. And Holiday has it in the corner. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
You know, pretty much anybody can hit that shot when they're that wide open. I mean, terrible incredible defense.
Outside Billups. Wallace outside. Richard Hamilton on the wing. Ball's knocked loose. Shoots. That one doesn't drop. Good D by Miller. And so it's Harris who will bring it up for Philadelphia. 7-point differential.
You know, even after the trade from the Clippers to the Sixers, he continued to produce. I mean, everybody figured that Tobias Harris would have a good season last year heading into free agency, and he didn't disappoint.
Now here is Holiday. 9 points last game out.
Not a shot he should have taken in the face of such tough defense. He needed to get a better look.
Here's Hamilton. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And the Pistons lead by 9.
And they're leaning on the mid-range right now. That's 6 of their last 10 from that area.
Harris outside. Offline with his 3. Detroit's gone 4-6 from long range here early on. Nice shot by Hamilton.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, they're doing everything right. How about that? I mean, this could turn into a blowout very quickly.
Now here is Miller. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. On the wing, Harris. Over Wallace. Detroit with the rebound. Wallace has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Hamilton. That one good for 2. Hamilton's got 6. And so it's the Detroit Pistons. 13 points up at the end of the period. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a quick transition to the United States.
Not knowing English, obviously at the beginning, it was a little bit hard to express myself. Obviously, I can speak English perfectly now, so that's a plus, and I'm just being myself.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And the Pistons have been rolling right along, haven't they?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
ABC is out there with Wallace. Then it's Joe Dumas. Then there's Richard Hamilton, and it's Billups in at the 1. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. And here are the 76ers now. After the basket by Detroit, Harris's shot is good.
No wasted motion with Harris. He's so smooth and polished as a scorer. He gets those catch-and-shoot jumpers off nicely.
Now here's Billups. A 23-point game for him in the win against Atlanta.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
Now here's Billups following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. Here's Wallace. And it's sent back by Mutombo.
Boy, the shot-blocking instincts of Mutombo, superb. Timing, exquisite.
And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no on-court workouts, so it was totally different than today.
So for the Pistons, Drummond comes in for Ben Wallace, and Thomas subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Philadelphia also making some changes. Joel Embiid comes in for Mutombo, and it's Barkley in for Tobias Harris. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. You look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
Here's Barkley after Rip Hamilton's score. Second shot opportunity. Barkley trying to break loose. Bank shot, no good. Hamilton with it. Barkley covering. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Hamilton's got 5 points now in the quarter.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Thomas against Hawkins. Embiid. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Well, I tell you, it's pretty obvious. Embiid takes pride in and enjoys tricking his defenders and getting them to jump on the pump fake.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
You know, Embiid has a very similar story to Tim Duncan's. I mean, the Cameroon native did not start playing basketball until later in life. Now he's one of the very best in the game.
Iverson's checked in for ABC. And Embiid drops them both. Detroit leading by 17. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Dumas against Iverson. Hamilton outside. Off target from outside.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Here's Iverson. The 76ers again can't hit it. Detroit's gotten 2/3 of their three-pointers to fall tonight. They're 6 of 9 overall. They get the rebound, and it's Drummond with the jam.
This is what Drummond is known for, fellas. I mean, assertive, aggressive, relentless, hard-working. He's just a dog at offensive rebound.
Hawkins against Thomas, and Rip Hamilton gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And the 76ers making a change here. Iguodala's checked in. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. From deep, drains it from beyond the arc.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Thomas against Hawkins. Passes it to Hamilton. The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Thomas. Good D by Embiid.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Dumas, the pass to Drummond. Back to Dumas. Over Iverson. Dumas misses.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times. And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now, here's Dumas after the miss from Andre Iguodala. Here's Drummond and the rejection by Embiid.
Boy, supported by great vertical explosiveness, Embiid continues to dominate as a rim protector.
And it's Iverson missing.
He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used his contributions.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. And that'll be his third foul so far.
And already his third foul. It's got to be time to get him out of there probably until the third quarter.
Hawkins against Thomas. 6 to shoot. Puts it up. And the jumper falls for him. And the Pistons lead by 18.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Pass to Iverson. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. No good. Shot missing. Good D by Drummond. Dumas against Hawkins. Outside Dumas. Here's the pass to Griffin. Hamilton against Embiid. 11 feet away. And Hamilton gets it to go on the assist by Griffin. Hamilton's got 7 points here in this quarter. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Hamilton against Iverson. Back to Barkley. Embiid trying to break loose. Barkley, no luck. Pistons leading by 20. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession.
And let's check out stats for Joel Embiid. Last season, he played outstanding, putting in about 27 points a game, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. It's hard to wrap your head around numbers like these, but that is just what he delivers night in and night out.
You know, it's so easy for us to take him for granted, to get spoiled with what he does. I think we've got to be more appreciative of the kind of impact this man has in every game he plays.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And Iverson gets it to go.
And it's encouraging seeing Iverson just bury the 3-ball. When he's got that shot going, he is basically unguardable.
Now, here's Dumas. Outside Thomas. Down low, Griffin. Back to Thomas, over Hawkins, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Thomas got 6 here in this quarter.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Hawkins against Thomas. Teardrop shot. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Pass to Dumas. Hamilton outside. Let's go. It's hauled in by the 76ers. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. They get it back. Shot's good by Barkley.
Oh, how pretty was that? Use the rim to protect the ball perfectly.
Detroit leading by 19 points. Upside Thomas. Outside Dumas. Hamilton dishes to Griffin. To the right side. From deep, Thomas. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And that one's good, Iverson.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Outside Dumas. Outside Thomas. Kick out to Hamilton. Iguodala with the steal. Here's Barkley. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Right side, Thomas. And the rejection by Embiid. To the wing right side. Another three for Philadelphia.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Look, we've talked about footwork, but a player's hands, how he catches, how he passes, the use of his hands are huge. And there are a couple guys out there that are great at that.
Kawhi Leonard got some mitts unlike any other in the league. I mean, he's not that tall. He's long-armed, and his hands are humongous. That ball looks like a tennis ball in his hands. Not only are they big, they're good. He's active with them on defense, and he's very strong in how he handles the ball offensively. You know, I think about a guy in terms of maybe not size, but really good hands. Jokic, his hands are phenomenal.
Look here for the Pistons. Wallace is checked in for Drummond. Wallace comes in for ABC. Grant Hill, he's checked in for Hamilton. And Chauncey Billups is subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Tobias Harris is checked in for Barkley. Ben Simmons comes in for Andre Iguodala. ABC's checked in for Allen Iverson. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Hersey Hawkins. And here's Harris from the arc. Another three for Philadelphia.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Hill against Simmons. Count that bucket. Hill's got his third basket of the night.
Tell you what, good luck trying to stop Hill inside. I mean, once he's this deep, the defense is done.
Here's Simmons. Rebound by Wallace. Detroit leading by 11. Outside Billups. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And you gotta like how they're working the ball inside this quarter. They were struggling to do that earlier. Now they're showing the focus to take the ball inside.
Free throw good, Wallace. We've got 1:13 left in the first half of the game. Miller surveying the floor. Back to Simmons. Shot clock at 6. Over Hill. Here's Embiid. Detroit with the rebound. Wallace has got his 5th rebound in this one. Inside. And it's Wallace with the jam.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
Simmons finds Harris. And it's sent back by Wallace. And here's Miller. And Holiday has it in the corner. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. And that's now 7 points for ABC. Outside Billups. And stolen by Miller. Drops in the breakaway layup.
And there's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set, and you can get some easy baskets here.
From deep three-point range, and the last-second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Detroit Pistons. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Here with Brett Brown. Now, Coach, it seemed like you guys came out a little flat. How do you get some energy for the second half?
just got to go with the people that have energy. I feel like we are not the aggressors. We have to do whatever we're going to do through our defense, and so far it's been poor.
Brett, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Detroit finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They lead by 11. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
You know what, Ernie, I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia?
They just gave up way too many good looks from the three-point line. That means either you haven't followed the game plan correctly or you're not executing it correctly. Either way, it's wrong. So from the looks of the first half, they need to aggressively close out on shooters to close this gap and the score.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the 3rd period.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Really an incredible game from AI.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's doing exactly what he has to do. Using his body, shaking off contact, and then finishing at the rim.
Pistons leading by 11. Taking a look at the 76ers. Iguodala out there with Barkley. Then it's Simmons. Then it's Iverson. And it's Embiid in at the center, locking down the middle. The drive by Iverson. And that one is good. Iverson's got the first basket of the 3rd quarter for Philadelphia. From T. Thomas. And the 3-ball is good.
And Thomas very capable of knocking down the tray. Got to respect his ability to shoot the long ball.
Iverson outside. With the teardrop, it's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Feels to me like this team is going to need more from him, guys. I mean, if they're to erase this deficit, he's got to step up.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. But Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. And now, a look at the upcoming schedule for the 76ers. They'll continue the road trip, heading out to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Then on Wednesday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Iverson outside. Clock at 6. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Hill with outguarded by Simmons. And the basket by Hill. Hill's got 8 points.
Hill showing good strength there. I like how strong he is. Even when you knock him around a little bit, he's able to stay with his shot effectively.
Now here's Simmons. Passes it to Iverson. Embiid against Drummond. Embiid kicks to Simmons. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. Here's Barkley. Another miss by Philadelphia. Pistons leading by 14. To the middle. Here's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
thrown down with force. Drummond with great feel around the rim. Now, usually he's one of the leading dunkers in the NBA because he doesn't waste any time or motion in there.
Now here's Simmons. Here's Iverson. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. Hill deciding where to go with it. Lets it go with a three. That one doesn't go. And it's Philadelphia the other way.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Simmons on the wing. He's guarded by Thomas. Kicks it out to Iverson. Offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Here's Dumas. And it's Iguodala with the rebound. The 76ers trailed by 14. Pass to Barkley. Over Wallace. And that one hits back iron. And it's Drummond with the ball. He'll bring it up for Detroit. 22 is their biggest lead. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. The 76ers have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. Iguodala, the pass to Simmons. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Hill. Lobbed up there for Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And I like the timing, Kevin, that Drummond has on these alley-oops. That's not as easy as he makes it look. He knows precisely when to leave the ground to receive the pass and finish it off.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
And guys, aggressive in creating his own shots, but thus far they have not been falling. Probably a good time to try and devote some of that energy to getting others involved.
So for the Pistons, Griffin's checked in for Wallace. And Richard Hamilton has subbed in for Joe Dumars. Philadelphia also making some changes. Mutombo is checked in for Joel Embiid. And ABC subbed in for Andre Iguodala.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the D has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull the trigger.
Hill finds Thomas. Now here is Hill. He's got 8. Here's Griffin. And he uses the glass on the way. And the Pistons lead by 18.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Looking to get it going. Iverson gets the bucket. Iverson's got 13.
Yeah, and you can see the defense broke down there, allowing him to get all the way to the hoop.
The pass to Drummond. That shot is off. Mutombo with some nice D.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Simmons passes to Barkley. He kicks to Iverson. Off target from three-point range.
You know, after connecting on one three-pointer in the first half, he hasn't netted another one since.
Hill, no good.
You know, guys, you can tell he wants to contribute more, but his teammates have picked up the slack for him. That's what being on the team is all about.
Now here's Simmons. That one goes. Count it. He's got 6.
You know, what touch from the Australian native, Ben Simmons. I mean, he's so good at staying under control, even when facing physical contact.
Hamilton looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And you know, that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
Now here's Simmons. He has 6. Here's Brand. Up again. It's good on the putback.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
And Thomas, here we go.
And without a doubt, one of the greatest small men we've ever seen. Zeke possesses the skill and determination to just take over a game at any point.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Detroit.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Ben Wallace, he's checked in for Detroit. Phillips comes in for Grant Hill. Then for the 76ers, Tobias Harris is checked in for Barkley. ABC comes in for Iverson. And Miller's subbed in for Simmons. And both free throws good for Thomas. The 76ers trail by 16. Miller kicks to Brand. Back to Miller. Mutombo passes to Harris, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Harris has got 12 in the game.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Thomas inside. He's against Miller. Ring shot on the way. The rebound by Holiday. Philadelphia's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Pass to Mutombo. Over Billups. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Mutombo.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
The Pistons have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Griffin. Clark, the NBA gives out so many awards at the end of the season. Is there an award missing that you'd like to see?
You know what? I think they've got the bases covered really well with the number of awards they give out, Kevin. But I would like to perhaps see consideration given to a sophomore campaign award. That would be kind of cool because sometimes the rookie of the year, at least recently, has been a little cloudy because a rookie had been in the league a year, Ben Simmons, case in point, and then was counted. It was actually technically his second year, but his first year of playing. Well, a sophomore award might be something worth adding to the list.
That's a great idea. Now, here's Mutombo. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller. Miller's got 3 assists now in this one. Detroit leading by 12. Here's Thomas, and it's sent back by Mutombo. Wallace misses.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now, here is Miller. Just 5 to shoot. Great D that time from Griffin. And here's Thomas, who brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. 22 is their biggest lead. Rejected by Harris.
What a block from Harris. Terrific work there.
Here's Wallace over Miller. Nice shot from 10 feet out. And the Pistons lead by 14.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Outside Holiday. Fires the three. A three-pointer is right on target. Holiday's got 10.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Thomas down low, covered by Mutombo, and it's sent back by Mutombo. Here's Holiday. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Holiday's got 5 points in the quarter. Thomas with the ball, and it's Miller picking him up. Thomas, no good. The 76ers trail by 9. On the wing, Miller. He's guarded by Thomas. Pass to Mutombo. Over Thomas. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Harris against Hamilton. And no good. The try spell continuing for him. On the wing, Miller. We've got 1:18 left in the third quarter. Pass to Holiday. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by the Pistons. Wallace has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Griffin dishes to Thomas. Back to Griffin. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. And that's now 6 points for ABC. The pass to Mutombo. Dishes it to Harris. Over Hamilton. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Harris.
Well, there's not much you can do about that, fellas. I mean, Harris is so good at remaining focused, concentrating on the basket, and sticking it to the defense.
To the paint. Griffin's shot is off. Philadelphia's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Harris against Hamilton. Harris inside. Holiday looking over the floor. Comes up empty from 19 feet out.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
Got it! Got it! What a shot!
And they get it to double digits just as we get set for the final quarter here. That 3 could be a killer.
And so is Detroit with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we'll be back with you shortly. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. The 76ers trail by 10. Wallace is out there with Wallace. And it's Hill. Then there's Chauncey Billups. And it's Dumars in at the 2. That's the group for Detroit right now. Now here is Holiday. Kicks to Miller. Iguodala outside. And the 76ers get it back.
And that's a good job of just getting after it on the backboard, gets them another possession, and allows them to run even more clock.
Miller against Billups. Three-pointer. Rebound by the 76ers. Here's Harris. Rebound by Wallace. Wallace has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Detroit leading by 8. Outside Billups. He can't get that one. And Philadelphia the other way now. Harris inside. He's against Hill. Good on the shot.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And Embiid with the block. Here's Holiday. That shot off. Nice D from Dumas. And here comes Billups leading the fast break. That one falls. 10 points for Hill.
Oh, I like how Chauncey Billups looks to share the ball. He's a sturdy point guard with a great feel for when his guys are open.
Now here's Iguodala. Looking to end his cold spell, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
The athleticism, length, and IQ of Iguodala is tough to guard. Sometimes you just have to whack him.
At the line, 76ers, Andre Iguodala. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And while Iguodala might not be the star of any team he's on, he's always going to be a major contributor because he does so many things well on both ends.
Detroit making a switch here. Drummond's checked in. And then for Philadelphia, Barkley, he's checked in for Harris. Iverson comes in for ABC. And Simmons subbed in for Andre Miller. And Iguodala drops them both. And we're around 2 minutes into the 4th quarter here. It's Hill on the wing. He's covered by Iguodala. Iverson against Dumas. Shot clock at 5. Outside Hill. Over Iguodala. Again missing Hill. The 76ers trail by 6. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Here's Embiid. And that one goes long. Detroit's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Pass to Dumas. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 3rd assist on the night.
There's not much that Hill does not do well. He does a bunch of good things, including spotting the open man and getting the ball to him right away.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Billups against Simmons. Billups kicks to Hill. 5 on the clock. Back to Billups for 3. Andre Iguodala comes up with the rebound. Iguodala's got 5 rebounds tonight, and the shot goes in. And that's 15 points for Iverson.
Boy, the unselfishness of Iguodala is really admirable. A forward with excellent vision. He has a feel for when one of his guys is open.
Now, here is Dumas. From deep, Billups. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
This guy is simply having a great game from outside.
Iverson passes to Embiid. Back to Iverson. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Iguodala. Lets it go from the wing, and right on target with the swish.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Outside, Billups. Simmons pulls it in. The 76ers trail by 7. Iguodala outside. Now Iverson. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Boy, the quickness of Iverson. What a blur this guy is. Slithering his way through the defense and never afraid to drive it inside despite being a small guy.
Hill passes to Dumas. Shoots over Barkley, and Dumas gets it to go. 76ers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Iverson outside. Six to shoot. Good D by Drummond. Pistons leading by 7. Here's the floater. And Dumas with the basket on the assist by Drummond. Dumas got 6 in the quarter.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Barkley dishes to Simmons. Embiid inside, defended by Drummond. Fouled in the act of shooting, gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. It's going to be Embiid shooting. Andre Drummond picks one up. The free throw drops for Embiid. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Billups against Simmons. Billups kicks to Hill. Here's Dumas. And it's off from 3-point range. The 76ers trail by 6. Iguodala up top. He's guarded by Hill. Kicks it out to Iverson. Here's Barkley. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Outside Dumas. Outside Billups. Shoots over Barkley. Here's Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
There it is, guys. One of those effort plays that makes a big difference in the game.
And GA, it is definitely making a difference so far today.
Well, you know, if you're not going to take care of the defensive glass, it's going to be hard to come away with the win.
And it's Iverson missing. Pistons leading by 8. Right side Dumas. The dish to Billups. Passes it to Wallace. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to it?
And no let up in him either, guys. I mean, he wants to continue to expand that lead, and as long as he's the one taking the shots, that lead's going to expand.
Now here's Iverson. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Iverson's got 19 points.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
And, guys, it's been a rugged brand of defense he's played. I don't know why they keep taking the ball at him. It seems like every time they have, he's come up with the rejection. And with every block, he's only gotten more and more fired up.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play. And this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Guys, I was able to listen in on what Dwayne Casey went over with his team. He's encouraged where they are at this point in the game, but he told his guys things can turn in a blink. What we need to do is execute the rest of the way. So we'll see if they can finish this one off, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Here's Thomas after the made shot from Allen Iverson. Thomas passes to Dumas. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Nice shot by Wallace.
That's simply an outstanding play, working the size mismatch right at the rim.
The 76ers trail by 8. Simmons with it. Pass to Barkley. It's Drummond with the rebound.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Now here's Simmons. Isaiah Thomas missing his last shot. Simmons finds Embiid. And here is Iverson. Makes it off the glass. Iverson's got 14 points here in the second half.
Iverson can score with the best of them. I tell you what, a volume shooter. He does not lack confidence and lets it fly from anywhere and everywhere.
Now here's Thomas. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Iverson against Dumas. Shoots it. Here's Barkley. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now. My goodness.
Here's Dumas. 76ers getting the bucket. And Hill has it in the corner. Over Iguodala. Hill, no good. The 76ers trail by 4. From past the arc. Another miss by Iverson.
You know, to cut deficits, you got to be making smart basketball plays out there. Taking care of the ball. It's not done by hoisting up bonehead threes like that. What an amazing trick shot to confound the defender. Oh, man, that's awesome. He's taking him to school right there.
56 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And it's Barkley missing. And here's Wallace. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. 22 is their biggest lead.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
You know, guys, it seems to me as though he's over anxious. He seems to be pressing, trying too hard, moving too fast. Just needs to calm himself down and wait for good shots.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And an intentional foul right there.
That's his first personal foul. Shooting 2. Isaiah Thomas.
Shooting 2.
Gets the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. They can score it here, but it won't mean much.
Kevin, turn out the lights. This party's over.
It might be. Now here's Simmons. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And it's Iverson missing. Outside Dumas. And so the Pistons take the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Owen, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.